Welcome to Click and Learn's live stream for this morning. Today we're going to try something new. I have a friend who we're going to demonstrate how you as a teacher can remotely work with your students using some of the technology we have today uh, to teach remotely. So first of all, I'm going to bring in my friend Mike, and we're going to talk about the concept for today. So, hey, Mike,
Thanks for having me, Bob.
this is going to be interesting. I am stunned at the technology that we have. Here I am in the rec center, just plugged into their electricity with their Wi-Fi. You're at home and you're going to be learning something new. I haven't even told Mike what he's going to be learning today. But I'm going to bring us both to the bottom. I'm going to bring us into uh, the Click and Learn system, and I'm going to show Mike how the process works to learn the countries of South America. So, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's learn something new.
Okay. Right now, we go to clickandlearnsoftware.com.
Okay.
And click the Play Now button.
Okay.
I'm going to do it from my end, and then Mike is going to do the same thing from his end. He doesn't have to be signed in, doesn't have to be doing anything special. It's all free at this point. So
Awesome.
I'm going to go to South America. I'm going to work with the South America game just to show how the system works. And I'm going to click the button for South America, and I click single player. So Mike, as we're going through this, feel free to interject if I'm not displaying something or explaining something right.
Okay. So far, so good. Yeah, I see the map of South America and level 1.
Okay, very good. So we click the go button. There are 7 buttons on the screen, one for each of the first 7 countries of South America alphabetically. The question is at the top. And the question says, we're also going to be racing the clock. So when it says, where is Argentina? We click one of these buttons to see if this is Argentina. If it's not Argentina, it'll tell us that in this case, it's Ecuador. I click OK. So even when we get it wrong, we're still learning something about. We learned that's Ecuador.
Right.
We're racing the clock. We can also use the show me button at any time. When I click the show me button, it shows me where, in this case, Argentina is. When you click the correct button, you get a green light. The button disappears. The question changes to Bolivia, and we're racing the clock. Let's see if this is Bolivia. Okay, that's Colombia. That's Brazil. Okay, that was Bolivia. Question changed to Brazil. We just clicked on Brazil. And now it asks for Chile. I can use the show me button, or I can guess. This is the Falkland Islands. This is Chile. Okay, Colombia. We know this is Ecuador and this is the Falkland Islands. So this is the only button left. That's Colombia. It asks for Ecuador. It asks for the Falkland Islands. We did not beat the clock. We were 50 seconds over. So we click the go button to replay over and over. It takes about 4 plays to learn 7 new items. So we're going to go through this again. Okay. This is Bolivia. It asks for Argentina. Okay, Bolivia. We know Brazil. Chile is easy.
Yep.
Colombia. No, that's Ecuador. Choose the show me button. Colombia, Ecuador, and even your six-year-old child can find Falkland Islands on the map.
I was just going to say, that's probably the only one I'm going to definitely know. It's the only island. Although Rhode Island isn't an island, so.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's Falkland. We still did not beat the clock, but we were much better than the first time. The first time we were 50 seconds over. Now we're 18 seconds over. We're going to click the go button again and try again.
Yeah, getting closer.
I know that this is Argentina. Question staying Bolivia.
Yep.
Brazil, Chile. Again, I know this is the Falkland Islands. One of these two is Colombia. No, that's Ecuador. This is Colombia, Ecuador, and Falkland Islands. 4 seconds over. We're getting better. Okay. Fourth time through: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Falkland Islands. Okay, we
Okay.
beat the clock,
Yep.
but in order to help me have confidence that I really know it, I'm going to click the replay button. We're going to go through that a couple more times: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Falkland Islands.
So the replay button is the one on the right. That one. Okay.
That's correct. That little
Okay.
circle here.
What's the 7? Just curious. What does that mean?
Circle 7, circle back 7. What that's for is once you get up to where, let's say you're working with 50 states and you're up to like Ohio, Oklahoma, and Oregon, and you're working at that level, you want to practice that level a few times before, instead of having to go through 7, 14, 21, and 28 to get to.
Wow, really? That's cool. I get what you're saying. Yeah, because I definitely, when you get to those larger numbers, that's helpful. That's smart.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that our programmer worked on, because I get so frustrated because I get to those higher numbers like Uganda and Western Sahara and so forth, and happen to go through things I already really knew to get to those other 7. So he made this circle back 7
Oh man, that's
feature
cool.
to do that. And that's really helpful when you get to the bigger countries like Africa and so forth. So I'm going to click circle back 7 and Argentina. Here's the other thing about this. Because these questions are in alphabetical order, you don't need to look at the question each time. In order to beat the clock, you can't look at the question each time. You have to know that once you click Argentina, move up to Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands without even having a chance to look at the question. And because they're in alphabetical order, the same thing over and over and over, you get to where you can go through that. I'm going to do it one more time: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil. Notice also that I'm whispering as I click. When you whisper as you click, you say the question, you say it, you hear it, you see it on the screen, and you touch it with the mouse. So all those things help you go through it quickly. It asks for Chile, Colombia, Ecuador.
Helps you with the memorizing of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the
Makes
Falkland
sense.
Islands. Because I was talking so much, there are 16 seconds over. We'll do it one more time: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands. Whisper as you click, because one of the goals of this system is that you'll be able to recite all 50 states in 50 seconds, of 14 countries of South America in 14 seconds, and so forth. And even if you don't know how to pronounce something, you still have to say something. So we're going to go on to, we've mastered that level. We're going to go to the next level, which is 14 questions. We already know Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Falkland Islands. And now we get to the next 7 questions, which we do not know. It asks for French Guiana. One of these 7 question buttons is French Guiana. Is it this one? No, that's Paraguay. Or no, that's Uruguay. Let's use the show me button.
Yeah.
Okay, French Guiana. And here's another feature about this. Even if you don't know how to pronounce French Guiana, is it French Guiana or French something else?
Guyana. Yeah.
You still want to say something. Because, for example, Mexico. Americans pronounce Mexico as Mexico, but we all know that it's pronounced Mexico in their country. And we
Right.
can get to where we can actually pronounce it that way and pronounce it correctly, but you have to say something. That's for Guyana. Okay, this is Venezuela. Okay, Venezuela. This is Peru. Again, we use the show. Okay, that's Guyana. Paraguay. Okay, that's Uruguay. Okay, that's Paraguay. We got that. Peru. I just clicked on Peru incorrectly. I know where that's at.
Right.
This is Venezuela. This is Suriname. I know that's Venezuela. It asked for Uruguay, so this is the only one left. Uruguay, Venezuela. 65 seconds over. Click the go button. We
Gotcha.
already know Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Falkland Islands. And really, again, takes about 4 plays to get through the next level.
Yep, the green one. That's what I remember.
Okay, French Guiana, Guyana, Paraguay. No, that's Uruguay. Paraguay, okay. Peru. And it doesn't hurt to click, click, click and get them wrong over and over and over because we're learning each time. Suriname, show me button, Suriname, Uruguay, and nope, Uruguay and Venezuela. 11 seconds over, but we're getting better. Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, French Guiana, Guyana, Paraguay, no, this is Uruguay, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, Uruguay, and
Venezuela on the top.
Venezuela. Okay,
Sweet.
we beat the clock, but I still, in order to really absorb this, I'm going to do replay a couple more times and fly through it again.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And again, we're not going to look at the questions because I know Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, French Guiana, Guyana, Paraguay, no, that's Uruguay, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, Uruguay, and Venezuela. We beat the clock. And now we go to the next mode, which is in random order. Now, this is really, to me, this is one of the things that really shows if we really know or not, because I've gone through some of these projects and I beat the clock and I raced the clock, and then it asked me where is Paraguay, and I think to myself, I've never heard that word, even though I've played it and learned it. So in random order, reinforces what we've already learned. It asks for Suriname. If you get it correct, you get a green button, and the button disappears. We're still racing the clock, but because it's in random order, we give you more times.
Okay.
And as for Ecuador, Argentina, boy, we know Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil really well. Peru,
Yep.
Uruguay.
Yep.
Okay, Falkland Islands. Where's Bolivia, Mike?
Right in the middle, the purple one.
Purple one, okay. Paraguay, where's Paraguay?
Underneath that one, the yellow one.
Okay.
Yep.
Here's the trick about Venezuela. Notice it's wider at the top and thinner at the bottom. This is something my programmer showed me. It's kind of shaped like the letter V as in Venezuela.
Well, in Peru, it's kind of shaped like a P if you're going to go with that.
It is.
Then.
It is. I never looked at that, but you're right. It is. Venezuela, Guyana, Colombia. Here's another trick. Colombia is connected to Panama.
Okay.
Colombia is connected. I don't know if these little tricks we're working on South America is not going to help you on the game I'm about to show you. But these are tricks that help.
Unique.
Brazil, Chile, French Guiana. We did not beat the clock. We're going to go through that again. Peru is shaped, as Mike said, it's shaped like the letter P. Peru, Paraguay, Bolivia, Brazil, big Brazil, I guess. French Guiana, Falkland Islands. This is why collaboration really helps. I would have never thought that looked like the letter P, but yes, it does. Okay. Uruguay. Ecuador's I think it's right on the equator, I think.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Guyana, Chile, Venezuela, shaped like the letter V, Suriname. Colombia is connected.
Yep.
Argentina. Okay.
A lot better. Yeah.
I think I was talking too much in that one. We'll beat the clock this time.
Okay.
Guyana, Venezuela, Ecuador, Colombia, Uruguay, Suriname, French Guiana, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Bolivia, Falkland Islands, Peru, and Chile. Okay, we beat the clock. I got kicked out there probably because of a Wi-Fi connection problem here. I'm back in, and the next mode is test mode. I'm going to click the go button. The difference in test mode is that when you get it correct, you still get a green light, but the button does not disappear. So when you get to the last question, it asks, where's Vermont, for example. You click Vermont because you know that's Vermont, not because it's the only button on that part of the screen. So all the buttons stay on the screen when you're in test mode. The other thing is you're not racing the clock, and the show me button does not help you. Okay.
Awesome.
When I click Peru, I know Peru now because it's shaped like the letter P. Argentina. It asks for Brazil. Still getting green lights. It asks for Chile. But when you get it wrong in test mode, it asks for Paraguay. I'm going to click Uruguay instead. Notice I get a red light. The button is not disappearing. You don't have another chance to answer that because you move on to the next question.
You just missed it. Okay.
Okay, Suriname, Venezuela. The other thing is by learning in alphabetical order, I think of got French Guiana, Guyana, French Guiana, Guyana, French Guiana, Falkland Islands. We're not racing the clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not so stressful in test mode. You can really just say, do I know this stuff? And another thing I was thinking, I'm sure you'll go over this, but if I'm a teacher, I'm going to say, play the test until you get 100%. It's not necessarily, some teachers might want you to know exactly that moment, but if I were trying to teach someone, I'd say, if you miss one, that's okay. You're just going to go through it, see how many you got, and then try to beat that level. And then, when I call time, maybe,
Yeah.
makes sense.
The other thing is too, Mike, as a teacher, you can show them how it works. You can watch as they play a few times, but then because this is accessible to them from anywhere at any time, even when you're not teaching them, they can still practice. And the next time you have a tutoring session or a teaching session, then they can show you that, yeah, I really do know how to do this. So that's pretty cool. That's a good idea. Okay. We are still in test mode. It asked for Bolivia. And like Mike said, we're not raising the clock. It takes the pressure off of you.
Yeah, it does.
Argentina, Bolivia, Ecuador. I remember it's on the equator. Okay. Shows you which one you got wrong. It shows you grade is 92%. And we're going to go over that again. And exactly like Mike said, with the student can play it over and over till they get 100%.
Oh, nice.
So let's do that. French Guiana, Brazil, Peru, Guyana, Falkland Islands, Argentina, Ecuador on the equator, Paraguay, Chile, Uruguay, Bolivia, Colombia. I have answered 12 of 14. I've got two more. Venezuela, Suriname, and we got 100%. At this point, when you get 100%, you can click this button and download a certificate of achievement to show that you got whatever your score is.
Okay. So you just download it on your computer so you can prove that you.
Yeah, and that'll be on the student's computer that they can display it, print it if they want, and whatever.
Email it. Okay.
Sign it. That's something I don't get into often because people are, paper and stuff like that. Okay. So that's how this system works.
Okay.
And Mike, I'm going to bring you into, first of all, I'm going to bring you into, I'm going to show you where I'm going to let you present.
Okay.
So go to clickandlearnsoftware.com and set it up so that you're presenting. I'm going to stop sharing or presenting. So let's see. Mike and I have both practiced with lives, with StreamYards, with streaming. So he's going to.
Yep. Let me go ahead and present my screen now.
Okay. Bring up your, yeah,
screen.
click on present, I think.
Time to share. Share. All right. And so this is going to be www.clickandlearnsoftware.com. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Clickandlearnsoftware.com.
Enter. The play now button.
Not yet. I'm going to put you on the stage, put your presentation on the stage,
Oh, okay.
and I'm going to bring us to the bottom, and you can then click the play now button, and I'll lead you through this.
Play now.
Play now. Now, you're not registered. You're not signed in. Up at the top right corner, it probably says sign in. Is that correct?
Yeah, sign in. Here, I'm not signed in, so.
Good.
And then South America, we're going to use this map here.
No, I'm going to bring you slide up to the, now scroll, go all the way to the top and scroll over to the right.
Okay.
All the way to the top, scroll over to the right till it gets to where it says, keep going.
Keep going. Okay.
Okay, hold on. There's something there that says new free games. Click on that.
Oh, new games. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I just added this game this morning. So Mike now sees that we are going to learn about Arizona on the far left. Click that.
I was pretty excited for South America. All right. Good for you. All right. Yeah, keeping me honest.
You were hoping for South America, weren't you?
All right. So I click this?
Yes. Click that. All right. And then you can click the single player button.
Okay.
And I want you to lead me through this.
Oh, man. All right. So we hit the go button, correct?
Right.
I mean, it's so intuitive. So, all right, Apache. Obviously, I do not know any of these, so I'm going to start with show me, just so I can get on a roll. Okay, Apache. So Cochise. I'm just going to guess that one. No, but that's Coconino. So Coconino is yellow. I'll remember that next time. All right, Cochise. In the bottom right, Cochise. Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila. I just get it. All right, Graham. I'll just try to guess again. Okay, La Paz. That's La Paz, so not Graham. La Paz, Greenlee, and La Paz. Okay.
20 seconds over. Okay, let's see what happens.
Pretty good. All right. Apache, Cochise. Oh no, that's Greenlee. Okay. Okay, of course. Bottom right corner. Okay. Coconino, Gila, Graham. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's that one. Greenlee.
Good.
A pause. You're 11 seconds over.
Okay.
All right. Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz.
Okay. You beat the clock, but what I do, I replay a few more times, whisper as you click, get to where you can do it. Let's say those 7 in, let's say you get to where you can do those in 5 seconds.
Yeah, because I'm still reading the word, so maybe this time I'll try to memorize it.
Yes.
All right, so, okay, Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz. Arizona County. Okay, do it again. Apache, Cochise. Oh, got ahead of myself. Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz.
Okay, before you click go.
Yes.
Are you looking at the questions, or do you have those in your mind at this point yet?
To be honest, I'm still looking at the question.
Okay, play it a few more times and get to where you can just say them without looking at the question.
Okay. All right.
So yes,
Patchy,
hold on.
Cochise, Coconino, Gilla, Graham,
Oh, it's
Greenlee,
coming through there.
LaPaz.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, I went to the next stage, but all right. I feel pretty confident. At least at the first 7.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Sure.
I'm in the rec center and they just told me that I'm coming through the speakers instead of the headphones. So I'm going to see if I can switch this to where I'm coming through the headphones.
Okay.
Sometimes
They didn't like my voice, huh?
No, it's just that it's loud here. This does stress me out a little bit because
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't know that I'm plugged in. So I'm going to, I don't know what my problem is here. This is something that as a teacher and wherever you do, and you do have to work out to see if you can do that.
Hey, that's it. I mean, it proves that we're live streaming here. You know, this is real time stuff.
I'm going to bring the volume down a little bit. This is probably going to mess up the live streaming for anybody that's watching. However, this is something we have to prepare for in the future. So go ahead, Mike, and continue with Apache and so forth.
All right. We got Apache.
Okay, so you already moved to the 714 questions now. Very good.
Coconino, Gilla, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa. I do know that's the county that Phoenix is in, so I'm going to guess that one. No, okay. Well, I've been wrong before. Oh, it's right next to it. Okay. So Maricopa is yellow. Mojave, like the desert. This one? Yeah. Okay. Navajo, maybe Navajo Nation. Okay. Pima. That I don't know. I'm going to use the show me button. Pima is red. Pima is red and down on the bottom. And now, note that Santa Cruz. Panal. That's Yavapai. Yavapai. Santa Cruz is down here. Yavapai. All right. Let's start it from the top because I'm still working on these anyway. I still got to look at the names. So, all right. Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gilla, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima is this one, I believe. Yes. Penal. Show me. Penal is purple. Purple Penal. That's how I'm going to remember that. Santa Cruz and Yavapai. So still over. It's okay. Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Graham, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima is purple. No, Pinal is purple. Pima is red. Pinal, Santa Cruz, Yavapai. You're 3 seconds. Oh, so close. I'm getting there. All right. Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gilla, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima, Pinal, Santa Cruz, Yavapai. Excellent. So, I mean, I already feel confident. You know, I had no idea anything. I've not, you know, obviously I've been to Arizona, so and you know, I knew where the Navajo Nation is, so that helped me. I know where the desert is, so that helped me. But those are just things that I happen to know. But other than that, I've never seen this map before, so I already feel pretty excited that I'm this far, to be honest. All right, Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima, Pinal, Santa Cruz, and Yavapai. Excellent. Let me do one more, just so I feel like in the test mode, I'm going to get it. And maybe I'll slow down a little bit on this one, just so I feel like I know it, because I know a test is coming up. So I want to make sure I get it right. Let's do it. Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima, Red, Pinal, Santa Cruz, and Yavapai. I'm going to try the test. I'm going to go for it. It's worth a shot. All right. It helps that there's no time. Oh, actually, no, this is random. That's right. Okay, the next thing is random. Oh, boy. All right, that's fair. Apache, Cochise, Apache, Cochise, Coconino. Oh, it's not random yet. Okay. Graham. Oh, I see. Because there's an extra one. Okay. All right. Well, good for me. Take all the help I can get. Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima, Pinal, Santa Cruz, Yavapai, and Yuma. That was it. So it's in groups of 7. So since there's 15 counties, there's going to be a third level. That third level, there's only one, but it gives me a chance to keep going, 12 seconds over. So, and I learned that 15th county now. So makes sense. All right, here we go. Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima, Pinal, Santa Cruz, Yavapai, and Yuma. Next 15 questions in random order. Now, here we go. All right. So, boom. So, Cochise, we are going to say here. Apache, that's where we started. Pima is red. Mojave, Gila. Okay, that's all right. Okay, that's right. Yes, of course. Yuma. Navajo, Pinal, La Paz, Maricopa, Graham, Yavapai, Greenlee, Coconino, Santa Cruz. It's pretty good. For random, for the first time I'm doing it, I feel pretty good about that. But you're right, saying it, seeing it, touching it, hearing it, all the different ways to put it in there. And also the colors are helping me too. So it's whatever way I can figure this out. So, all right, Greenlee, Mojave, Coconino, La Paz, Yavapai, Apache, Pima. Pima is getting me. Yeah, Gila, Pima and Gila are messing with me. Pima. Aha. Santa Cruz is small. Yuma, Graham, Navajo, Pinal, Maricopa, Cochise, and Gila. Nice. All right, let's see if it saved my progress here. It did. Perfect. All right. So I beat it. Now it's test time. Oh, mercy. All right. I feel confident. And now I can take my time. Without the clock, I feel like I might even be better at this than racing through it. But let's find out. Coconino, Mojave, Maricopa is yellow. Navajo, right next to Apache. Okay, Cochise. Okay, Yavapai. Yavapai. Yes. Pima, that's the one that keeps messing with me. Yes. Yuma, Pima and Yuma next to each other. Graham. Gila. Santa Cruz, Pinal, La Paz, Apache is the one we started with. Greenlee, 100%. I feel pretty good about that. So at this point, I can download a certificate. Like I said, have it on my hard drive, email it, print it, however we want to do that to prove that I did this. So, okay, this is amazing. I learned so much. Now, the real question is when I go back into it tomorrow, the next day, this isn't something that I can just say, okay, now I know. It's like with anything, you got to repeat it. You got to keep trying, and then it's gonna be put in your brain, kind of like the first time you ever rode a bike. You didn't put the bike up for a year and say, well, I already know how. Well, if you don't keep practicing, you're not going to ride it very far. So this was amazing. Thank you, Bob. This was awesome. I'll go ahead and jump out of here. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, did you get through the whole thing?
Got through it, got 100% on the test.
Okay. Well, yep. I got to tell you something funny. When the lady came over and said I was too loud, I turned it down, and then somehow I disconnected everything. I couldn't watch you as you went through those last levels, but I think that you were on the screen, and I think that you came through even though I was mumbling around. So that's another advantage of what we're doing is
I think so.
Still went through it.
I do. Yeah. I think I was still presenting.
So that was still a positive outcome of this, even though I couldn't watch all of you. But I want to show you something else that's really cool. Once you have gone through and learned this, and then you want to get back in and simply refresh or review. And what you just did, Mike, as you know, is cramming. You can get 100% on the test of Arizona counties if your teacher says, here's this pop test, and let's see what you do. But in order to really learn the information, when I'm learning something new, I get in and play that game over and over, but I play it in a different mode.
Oh, okay.
So let me present, and I'm going to go into
because to be honest,
that you just did.
Like the real map of Arizona isn't colored, so the colors helped me out a bit. So,
That's correct. And we do have other games where, for example, in South America, we have a game without the color. And I'm going to put that up on the screen and show how playing without the color is another step towards really learning it. As for Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, and this really reinforces, as you say, Mike, how you learn. I'm going to exit from that.
Yeah, it takes one of the
really cool feature that we have on games, such as this one, and it asks, I'm in test mode, and it asks, where are the Falkland Islands?
Oh, mercy.
Brazil, and this is in test mode in random order. Ecuador, Peru.
Oh, man.
So that really reinforces.
Oh, I'd say so.
But what I'm going to show you here is back to that same game, Arizona. When I want to practice reviewing without going through each of the steps, such as 714 random, I go right into review mode. Now when I click go, I don't have to go through 7 and 14 and 15. It brings me right into all 15. And I do Apache, Cochise, Coconina, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima, Pinal, Santa Cruz, Yavapai, and Yuma. And I would do that a few more times in alphabetical order: Apache, Cochise, Coconino, Gila, Graham, Greenlee, La Paz, Maricopa, Mojave, Navajo, Pima, Pinal, Santa Cruz, Yavapai, and Yuma, just to practice with. And if you're the teacher, you can go right to, have your student go right to, switch to test mode.
Oh, okay.
Now, when they play, click the go button, they just jump right into that last mode, which is test mode, and you can see how they are doing. It asks for Yavapai, La Paz, Mojave, Gila. And the other thing is, as a teacher, uh, is this Gila or no? You know that it's pronounced Gila. You can tell your students that's how to pronounce that. I'm going to exit.
Oh, wow.
That. Yeah. The other thing is, and we do have a feature where if a school purchases and subscribes to the system, we are able to give them more power where they can, you as a teacher, Mike, would be able to have your students uh, playing remotely.
Okay.
And we have a feature where when they play remotely, you can see their names on the screen. You can see what level they're on, whether they're on 7 states, 14, 21, and so forth. And if they go into test mode, you can see their test scores.
Okay. Oh, wow. So that would probably need a username, I would guess, so you can differentiate who's who.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I
That's a
tell
cool
you what,
feature.
I'm going to stop sharing, and I'd like you to do what we just did. I'd like you to present and go right to that same game and jump right into test mode and play it a few more times till you get 100%.
Sure. So I'm going to present, share the screen here. Let's see here.
And just to tell anybody that's watching, as the host, I control when Mike comes up. I can take him off the stage. I can add him back to the stage. I can set it up so it's just me as the main presenter, or I can bring it down like we had before, where and I can bring his, when he clicks present, I can bring him onto the stage to present as well. So I can see that he just is going to where he's selecting what he wants to present. He's going to click it. I'm going to add you to the stage now, Mike.
Okay. So do you see the owl?
Yeah, you click play now. Very good.
All right. All right. Perfect.
So and the game we just did was across the top, but there you go. Very good. Very good.
All right. Excellent. And so here you're saying just go right to test mode.
Yeah, move it into test mode.
Excellent.
Like single player. And let's play it a few times until you get 100%.
All right. So Mojave, Yuma, Pinal, Cochise, Pima is next to Yuma, Navajo, Apache, Coconino, Maricopa, Greenlee, La Paz, Graham, Santa Cruz, and Gila. Gila. I think it's that one.
It's okay to click. Okay.
And Yavapai. That's there. That is. So, okay, they were next to each other.
Look what you did, though. You got 93%. I'm going to have you play that over until you get 100%, but incredible. I'm sitting and smiling.
Yeah. Yep.
You just learned something. And I tell everybody here, Mike did not know anything about Arizona. He's probably driven through it a few times. But
exactly.
In, I don't know, 15 minutes playing by yourself,
yep,
you can score 100%, was 93%. Play it again till you get 100%.
Yeah, because really I know now that's Gila, so I feel like this time I'm gonna get 100. Oh, bailed me out early on that one. Coconino, Cochise, Graham, Yuma, Navajo, Greenlee, Mojave, Santa Cruz, Pinal, La Paz, Yavapai, Yavapai,
Yavapai.
okay, Yavapai, and Pima, Pima, Maricopa,
Look at that.
100%.
Look at that. Look at that. I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm really excited to watch what you just did.
Well, and the system, it's the system. If you do it and actually actively try, it's with anything, you can't just call it in. You really have to try. And I'm surprised on what I can do, on that. So, and then I can just build on top of that. So if it's what is there, 47 countries of Europe, or 49, maybe there's 50 countries in Africa.
And here's another thing. Mike. I can go into schools and I can tell them, you won't believe what you can do with this system. And I tell them how amazing it is. But until you play it yourself, you won't believe what you can do.
Right. And to be honest, if you that's why I think it's cool with this live stream too. It's because you just picked it randomly and we did this live. Like there's no wizard behind the, curtain type thing,
I got to tell you something else. Even our programmer, and Mike has met our programmer, but even our programmer who developed all the newer versions with a new technology, and he thought, yeah, this is pretty cool. But until he went into his homeschool organization at the church he belongs to in Colorado, and until he brought in 20 students who were 10 years old or 14 years old, 4th grade to 8th grade, until he saw them getting in, he was stunned at how well it worked. So,
well, this was great.
Anyway, Mike, I appreciate your time. This has been a lot of fun.
Anytime.
Let's do this again. And well, I tell you what, the next time we get in, I'll have you get in and I'll have you do South America and Arizona.
Absolutely.
And perhaps we can work together through this, and maybe we could go through a whole semester of maybe a live stream every week and show how you can learn all the countries of Europe and Africa and Asia. I mean,
and if any of your viewers want to try it, just let Bob know. Say, hey, I want to give it a try. You'll be famous for one. You'll be on the World Wide Web on a video live stream. But test your. It's a little scary. I'll be honest. When you brought up a whole new map and said, okay, this is the one we're going to do. And what's interesting is, as you were doing the South America map, I saw on the bottom, that it was scrolling and said, we're going to learn the counties of Arizona. I was like, oh, well, that must be a mistake.
Yeah.
But it was not. So anyway, thanks for having me, Bob. It was a blast. I really enjoyed myself.
Well, I tell you, Mike, seriously, to anybody who's watching this, this is the first time we've ever done this, and I am so excited at the technology that we have. Mike could do this he can teach kids any place around the world, whatever he's interested in.
Right. Yeah. So, and it works for anything that you have to, some things you just have to memorize, some things you just can't get around memorization, things in science, not just geography, but so the idea goes farther than geography, but allowing yourself to know different places in geography, it just brings us all together a bit. So I like that as well.
Okay. Mike and I are going to go off stage, or what we're going to be, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do next time. But I'm excited at how this works. Thank you, Mike. I sure appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait to do it again.
We'll see you later.
Y'all.